With the gaming scene moving away from traditional gaming and offline gaming into the online space, it looks like EA have also jumped on this bandwagon, with our favorite FIFA 19 also following suit. I'll explain more in the video. Ladies and gentlemen, it's FIFA 19 live in my mama's house.
You gotta find your magic. You gotta find you. You gotta find your magic. You gotta find your magic.
Put the corner in the middle. In the crowd of players, the keeper goes for a punch. Here's David Silva. He's got his shot off now.
Bayern Munich getting their players into the right areas to defend this corner.
Firstly, let me talk about the things I don't like in the game. One of my favorite things to play in FIFA is career mode, and over the last maybe 3 years, we haven't seen much improvement in career mode. The biggest single player experience that the game has to offer is not being updated regularly. The commentary in the game is also not being updated regularly. Martin, Tyler and Alan Smith still sound like they haven't been to a studio in a number of years, and they probably just send a couple of voice notes to the guys at EA to add here and there, but that also still feels stale and has not been refreshed. That's because the guys at EA are now focusing on Ultimate Team. I dabble in Ultimate Team from time to time. It's not necessarily my favorite game mode. I appreciate the concept of building your own squad, starting with no star players and building your own squad, and slowly loaning a couple of players into your squad. Some come on loan, some come permanently, some you have to buy them using coins, and if you're not winning enough and you want the really good players, you have to use real world currency in order to use that. In Europe, loot boxes and in-app purchases is something that's being regulated heavily because developers are getting away with murder and are making tons of cash off this. And I think in a market like South Africa, this is something that the government also just needs to pay close attention to. Nonetheless, I love the experience of building your own team from scratch, buying players, getting some loan stars, and just building your own team. Also like competing online on Ultimate Team, but it's not necessarily my cup of tea. I would still love to see improvements in career mode. It might not be drastic improvements, but just make it a better experience over the years. Also, another thing about the game, do we really need another Alex Hunter story? I felt like the first journey was enough for me. As the journey continued, I just lost interest in Alex Hunter, and I wonder how many of you go back and play FIFA 19 story mode. One thing I know I don't. The women's tournaments is still also there, so women's football is still being celebrated, and I'd love to see that just getting a step up and getting a bigger boost. So maybe the same effort that's being shown to Alex Hunter, I think they should just scrap Alex Hunter, should be shown to the women's game within the video game. A couple of new improvements have come to Kickoff. Kickoff is that mode that you like playing with either a friend when a mate comes over, or you like playing when you just want to test out your skills. They've got something called house rules now, where I can set the rules of the match, whether we can only score with headers, switch the offside tap off, or when I score a goal, you lose an opponent. It's a really cool way of playing Kickoff, and also now Kickoff also now tracks your stats, so how you perform against other opponents, against the AI opponents, which is also really cool. The Champions League is finally available in FIFA 19, but that's about it. It also feels at home. I must just say that the Champions League feels at home in FIFA 19. It's part of the right game, but other than it just being a little game mode within the game, separate commentary, and also being part of career mode and the different tournaments you can take part in, that's about it. It doesn't add much to the game. It's just one of those, it just feels part of the right brand. Finally, it feels a part of the right brand. One thing I also like about the game is that scoring really cool goals is easier now. All you have to do, other than pressing 10 buttons or performing 10 combos on the controller, is just make sure that your players aiming towards the post. post. That's about it. So if you have your back turned against the post, you'll perform a bicycle kick and so forth, which is really cool. It makes it easier for people who aren't really good at the game to score spectacular goals. With all that said, FIFA 19 is still the brand that we love and still the brand that we gravitate towards too. It's a very brand heavy game, and I understand why it sells. Soccer itself is a very brand conscious sport, so it just goes hand in hand. With all that said, FIFA 19 gets a solid 8 out of 10 for me. Let me know in the comment section below. Are you playing Ultimate Team? Are you playing Career Mode? Which is your favorite game mode within the game? Is it the Alex Hunter storyline? Is it the Women's League? And also, just before I end it off, the game soundtrack is also really cool. Some bass, some Childish Gambino in there. Really dope soundtrack. I love the game soundtrack. Haven't heard a soundtrack in the FIFA franchise this good since FIFA 16. Yeah, check me out on Instagram and on Facebook _SuperDAV, the Idiot's Guide to Gaming on Facebook. My name is Super Dave, and this has been another edition of Gaming in My Mama's House.
You